So, what if I tell you that you don't become an expert in digital marketing unless you know auditing of any account or you know how to make a project audit report? And the question is, why the hell you need to know the creation of these reports? So, basically, whenever you approach a company or an agency to get a job, they try to measure your performance skills. They try to check if you are really capable of managing the projects, managing the Google Ad account, managing the Meta Ad account. And then they either ask you the campaign related questions about how to launch the campaigns, bid strategies, then ad group setting, ad setting, what all assets do we have in the account. Or when they look for a performer, when they look for someone who could really make the difference in the project, then they look for account auditors, someone who could really audit the entire account, audit the entire project. In fact, a lot of clients always look for auditors or digital experts who could audit their project and tell them how do they improve the performance. So here I have created a report which contains multiple points, multiple slides where I can tell you how do you make a project audit report for Google Ads. Now, whenever you think about creating a report, it has to contain the contents of the report. Now for Google, it's just important that we start with the account performance part. So we list down the performance of the account. Then we have to mention the performance of the campaign, keywords and search terms, a very important part in Google, especially for the search campaigns. We mention the status of competitors for that project, strength of the ads, quality score of the keywords, existence of extensions and assets, and finally, once all of this information is captured or pulled from the ad account, we have to mention the scope of improvement. Now, if you're able to set up the right scope of improvement, then the chances are very, very high that after this audit, you will either get onboarded by the company, or if it's a client, then you can onboard the project from that client. Because whenever a company or a client is looking for an auditor, then he is looking forward to improve the performance. So if you can rightly judge the account status and give this a scope of improvement, then the chances are very, very high that you end up getting the project or the job in the company. So let's get started with the first point of the account, which is account performance. Now, first of all, you have to mention the performance report for any duration. For this account, we have captured the duration from the 1st of January up until 23rd of December. And then the most important part of the account is the spent, which means how much we have spent in this duration. So we have spent around 795,000 INR, which has generated a traffic of 39,000, which means clicks. And then we have to mention the two performance parameters, which is conversions, that means total sales, and then the cost per sale. This gives a very good idea about the entire account performance for the duration. This is going to tell us that we have spent around 795,000 for the entire cycle, out of which we have got 244 sales at the cost of 3,000 and 2,500 per sale. And then we get into the campaign performance report. But how do you pull out, like how do you create this report? Or how do you put these numbers on the report? So you can easily get into a section of Google Ads. First of all, it's all about getting into Google Ad account. You look for an option that says overview available on the top left hand side. And then you have to add these four metrics in the account. It starts with cost. Then you can add clicks, conversions, and cost per conversion. You can simply take the screenshot and put it in the report. Quite simple. Then the second important part is to list down the performance of different campaigns. So when it comes to Google and Meta, both the accounts, in fact, LinkedIn and Snapchat, all of these accounts are based on campaigns. Campaigns is the parameter that drives the sales for the company. So we have to list down all the campaigns and additionally mark cost, conversion, and cost per conversion metric. Now, these three are the most important metric of any account performance. So you again get back into the Google Ad account, and this time you try to scroll down, look for the top performing campaigns in this panel, and then take a screenshot, put this screenshot in the report. It's important that you list down the right parameters, which is cost, conversions, and cost per conversion. This gives a very good idea about the campaign performance to the client. If you want, you can also mention all the points one by one, but I usually like to put graphics in the report, and that's why I add these screenshots from the account. But it's totally up to you if you would like to put the campaigns through screenshots, or you can mention these campaigns by in text as well. Then we have the top keyword report. We have top searches report. Keywords is very important. It tells us which keywords have driven the maximum sales in the campaign or in the account. Again, this is something which you can pull up from this keyword panel. Next to which we have the search term report. This is the metric that tells us what people have searched when they have seen our ad or when they have typed anything against our keywords. Then we have to mention the current competitor report. This information can be pulled from the auction insights section of the campaigns over here. Then we can add the ad strength and quality. Usually whenever you create an ad copy, it starts with poor ad quality, goes to average, good, and excellent. So if you have average or poor quality scores, you know you have to further improve the quality of the ads to good or excellent. Then you can always mention the keyword quality, a very important parameter. And this tells you that the keyword quality score is low. And then you also add the metric of quality scores, which is ad relevancy, expected CTR, and landing page experience. By these metrics, you know what actually has to be done in the account or which metric has to be controlled. Then you can also mention the ad extensions, starting with call out, site link, price call. Then the city performance report, a very important report that you have to create separately in Google Ad. So you can come under this report editor section, go to campaign performance, pull out the region metric and push it inside the report and try to check the performance against the different cities. This gives a very good idea about the city performance to the client. If you find out any city which is not performing or giving a sale at a very high cost, you can recommend client to stop showing the ads in that city. If you have a city which is doing very well in terms of sales and cost per sale, you can recommend client to have a separate campaign on that city or bid high for that city. Similarly, you can create a report for gender that tells us if males are doing better than females or if it's otherwise. You can create an age performance report that tells your client which age is performing better than the other, which range is performing better than the other, in fact. So you can just list down all of these sections, all of these metrics in the report. And once these sections are added, you would already know how to improve the performance, how to perform this account. Then it's all about listing down all of those points in the scope of improvement section of the report, where you can start with writing the random numbers, like restructuring the and optimize the campaign, stop non-performing campaigns, create new campaigns, improve keyword quality score, improve ad quality score, add assets and extensions, add some positive and negative keywords. By the way, these are the random points in any Google Ad account. But then your client would further be looking for these specific points of improvements, for which you can further add the points for different campaigns, which could start with the search campaign. You can list all the point of improvement for the search campaign. Then you can mention the point of improvements for shopping campaign, for video campaign, recommend additional campaigns to create. You can always recommend people to go with remarketing and PMAX campaign. Then recommend additional assets. Also recommend the quality score improvement points. How can a company or project can improve the quality score of different keywords. Also recommend the ID strength improvement points. So that's how you can create any audit report for a digital marketing project. This report was made for Google Ads. If you want this format, then I can highlight it somewhere in the description. You can simply click on the link and try to download this format. I shall be seeing in some other video where we talk about any other report. You have a lovely day ahead.